Minecraft. And, well, there's no easy way to figure out what I'm gonna do today. I just don't know. I just don't know. But I figure I might as well log into the world while I try to figure out what I'm going to do with myself, if anything. So I don't know what to do with myself anymore, right? There's some advancements left, and some of them I might be able to do, but like, it's like I reached a point where I no longer know like why I'm playing the game. Is I had the objectives and then I was learning stuff and getting better, but now like if I think about building anything significant, it just makes me feel like I shouldn't do it here. Because you're not supposed to play hardcore if you're afraid, right? It's not what it's for. Hardcore is, for shocking acts of bravery, not for worrying all the time. And yet I acquire this gear and I have all my stuff, but what is it for, right? And that's the sort of thing where it just happens suddenly. You can just be minding your own business. And then you realize you don't like doing all the stuff that you'd been doing anymore. Well, that's not precise. I actually quite like the game. Still, I just... I've done everything I want to do here, really. Normally I die before that happens, so I haven't ever had to deal with, like, this feeling of not knowing what to do with myself. But, because I talked about it before, and I think it was when one of the viewers, Natasha, said, well, you can do anything you want to do. It's a sandbox, but something in me thrives on completing objectives, right? Not on being given like busy work to do. That's very unsuccessful. It has to feel fulfilling. If it feels like arbitrary, then I'll reject it. It's got to have a very specific balance. Do I have torches? Yes, good. I mean, some of it might just be that I've, played hundreds of hours of Minecraft in the last few months. And there might be a finite amount that a person can talk to themselves about any given topic. Even a person like me can eventually run dry of conversational topics. Somewhat. But there's, there's not really anything I'm interested about in the game anymore. I mean, planting wheat is still great, but, like, I don't know, I kind of, I feel like I had a good run. But that's probably why people, start speed running or doing whatever things they do or playing creative, because, after you figure out how it works, you're left you know, with a success. Because the great part of playing Minecraft is the early game, right? I think by the time you get to day 300, well, 284, you're nearly done. There's still more to do and more advancements to get, but I just don't feel particularly compelled to do that. Or anything. I should have brought sea lanterns. I forgot to bring sea lanterns. Rookie mistake. We'll have to go over to this. Oh no! I jumped. There's a lightning bolt. Silliness. Well, maybe we'll look around and see if there's a skeleton horse. Here we find merely a skeleton. And I don't think I brought a bed with me. I didn't. And we definitely don't want to be hanging out over here in the nighttime where creepers could spawn. Left home without a bed. Lightning just going absolutely crazy. As if to say, look how angry the lightning is. Don't you want to stay here forever? I should just find some sheep real quick. Hello, Byron. An Enderman whoops around. Hey, Natasha. Oh no, that's not how to get gunpowder. Literally not how. This creeper is here trying to disrupt all of my good work. It's not going to work. It is not that camouflaged. I mean, it's probably going to blow a hole in the ground, but it's not going to distract me from my good work. I don't know where my clock is. It doesn't matter. Let's just back away real quick. Make sure that we're not getting too many creatures moving towards us. Some beautiful thunder sounds. I remark, not for the first time, how interesting it is that some people don't have thunderstorms where they live, because they are very standard to where I live. But the world is a very big place. And now slightly smaller because of that creeper making it slightly smaller. Hey, Sid. We are pondering the meaning of everything. I mean, of some of everything, not all of everything. And also, there's a thunderstorm. Which is, you know, a wonderful opportunity to acquire gunpowder. Oh no. And whatever happens when creepers blow other things up. They should give me a disc for having a creeper blow up without me getting anything for it. You know, that would be nice. I'm not holding my breath for it. That zombie had to have eaten some damage in the past. I don't think I hit him that hard. Come on, shoot him! Hey, I got a music disc. But, you know, I'll never be able to listen to it. Now I'll be able to. For I have infinite lives. I have an extra life. I have so many arrows. I should be able to pull them out of myself. Alright, there's a disc. I don't know what it is. It is called Maul. I've never heard this one before, so that'll be fun. We'll be able to listen to Maul later on. Very cool. Apparently, you can get more than one disc from getting creepers shot with skeletons, which is both fun and very annoying now that I know I might have to do that. A trident. Ah, quite interesting. After like 18 tridents get stuck into me, I'm like, ah, look at that. A horse of a different color. Do I not have buckets? Ah, it cleared in. That's good. I need more diorite. Rough. It's got to be diorite too. Nothing else will do. Alright, I probably have some more in some chest at home. Probably. Have any paper in here? Yes. Oh. That's not what I meant to do. We'll just swing up home and grab some more diorite. And if it's not in one of the chests, which it might not be, then we will go mine some real quick. Because that's, you know, that's what Minecrafters do. Diorite? Quartz, but we don't want more quartz. Diorite, yeah, that should be enough. It's probably gonna be enough. What am I building? Oh, it's a poetry thing. There is a very famous poem by Edgar Allan Poe called Annabel Lee. It's like I would consider it one of the preeminent poems in the English language. Like, it's not like that critically acclaimed, I don't think, but like I love it an extra huge amount, and many people love it a whole lot as well. But I'm building a little thing here for it, and then maybe when it's finished, I'll read it and like cry for everybody, you know, because it's a real good one. If you think this inventory is a mess, well, it is. It totally is. But ultimately unimportant. The real mess is what's inside. But, so, I'm not going to do too much background on the poem, but basically it's real good, and it's real sad, and it's super influential to a number of other works of art that I like a lot too. But we should definitely make it to daytime before we try to read it. But as we fly off towards home to say hello to the crime family and rest for the night, I like the title of it says, what's it all for? I don't know. The brief period of time that I was playing World of Warcraft in, like, I wasn't having a great time, but it did make me more thoughtful about, like, how good of a time I was having with Minecraft. And really, like, I mean, ever since I killed the dragon, I don't know. But I love Poe like just so much. I think he, it's not like super controversial to be like he's one of the great American writers, but I think he is. And I also think there's lots of great American writers, but Poe is something really special. And I left my ender chest, and I left my ender chest. This is all a mess. It's fine. Yeah, maybe that would be a fun thing to do. Because after all, dying would alleviate all of my concerns about not having anywhere left to go. It would get rid of all of those problems. There wouldn't be a single worry left to me, whether or not that would be, great in the long run. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, and the thing with building is like, hardcore was good because, it let me learn and face my fears and stuff. But if I really started building like bigger and bigger things, well then like, it just seems like it would make more sense for me to do it in a survival world, although this is too a survival world. And maybe I wouldn't die by doing anything really stupid. Or just moderately stupid. Hi, Renee. But anyway, we've just built this little thing. And if it looks like a sort of mournful memorial, well, that's because it is. This is our little thing by the sea, and I'm going to cut out all the music because, well, cause now we're gonna do something something fun. We're gonna read Annabel Lee for all of you. So this is Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. And this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsmen came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger, by far, than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so, all the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. And that that's Annabelle Lee. And I just like it so much. I think it's just like one of the best poems there is. It's real good, I think. And anyway, so here's a tomb uh, for Annabelle Lee, and the obsidian can weep for her when we're not around to do it ourselves. But anyway, a great poem by a great poet, and I'm happy to have shared it with you today. Good stuff. But actually, Shaw, it was like a one-man show. This actor Jeffrey Combs, who, if you ever saw Star Trek Deep Space Nine, he was a character on there. He played Wayun, one of the Vorta. But he did a one-man show as Edgar Allan Poe, like as the character, like as the author himself, as if we were like in period and he was alive. Is the concept of it. It was really great, and there was this part where he pretended to fall off of the stage, right? Because Edgar Allan Poe had substance abuse issues, and so he pretends to fall off the stage, and then he like sort of rights himself, and then as he's like reeling there, and then he performs Annabelle Lee, and it's just like a really, really great performance by Mr. Jeffrey Combs, and a memorable night. It wasn't the first time I'd heard Annabelle Lee or read it, because I had been reading Poe since I was a little kid. But yeah, I was thinking about that poem a lot lately. Thinking about, nostalgia and how we romanticize the past. Because, like, part of what I consider the emotional heart of the poem Annabelle Lee is how much we, the person saying it, because they've shut themselves off so much from what life has to offer them because they can't get through their despair. And moreover, they don't think that they should. Their sadness is something holy, something sacred, and it's very sad because too we sympathize with that in the writer because they make such a perfect and beautiful case for why they're right. After all, why would they even be able to give us such a beautiful thing if the heart of it wasn't pure and true? And that's the lie that art tells you, because really you can make anything up, and if you wrap it well enough in beauty, you won't be able to tell that it is not gold. And just quite brilliant. A really, really wonderful poem. But yeah, maybe we'll go into the Deep Dark tomorrow, where if I die, I'll have time to spin up a new Minecraft world. But let's throw them all into the disc player. Sid, you say, is all of Poe's work like that? No, it's super varied. A lot of it is sort of like horror tinged. Most of it is deeply sad, though, certainly. Just this sort of like sort of weaving between like a very depressive worldview and then like being sort of like the godfather of American horror. Because Poe's principally famous not for his poetry, but for his short stories, which are iconic and fundamental building blocks of horror. Stuff like Mask of the Red Death, Cask of Amontillado, Pit and the Pendulum, like these are like bedrock horror stories. And people often don't know how influential Poe is in that vein until they read more of them. And so I think that probably horror is like more of what people would associate Poe with, but he has many wonderful poems. He's got a super famous one called The Raven, which I was like obsessed with when I was in junior high, just like so into it. But that one is sort of reminiscent of Annabelle Lee. It's much longer, but it's more about descending into madness, I would say. He has a story called The Telltale Heart, which is super brilliant. They teach it in schools pretty often, but it's a guy who he commits murder, and then he is, trying to lie about it in front of investigators while the guy's heart is beating under the floorboards, making him go crazy. And it's really good stuff. I wouldn't say most of it is like Annabelle Lee at all, but most of his work is of very high quality, and it's almost all short stories and poems. So it's like you get more bite-sized chunks of it, which is really pleasant. And for someone in like the mid 1800s, that wasn't how everybody was doing stuff back then. Like in a lot of ways, he sort of pioneered American short story writing. Not him specifically, but like he was definitely like an important sort of voice there. And if you read like any of like the famous Poe short stories, like all the ones I name dropped there, those are all like quite famous. Like many of them would have had like at the very least like short 30-minute television programs made of them, if not like outright movies. There would be like plays and stuff. Like all of those ones I mentioned are big deals, and some of them are just like a few pages. Very much worth reading. I would recommend Poe to absolutely everybody. But anyway, glad you asked. Thank you. And I'm glad you guys liked Annabelle Lee. It's a poem that means a lot to me, and it's funny that I got to use video games as the avenue to talk to people about poetry. But hey, if it works, it works, right? And I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching and listening. And as I was saying, I don't know why I'm playing Minecraft anymore. I had a really good time doing this, building a thing out of a poem and talking about poems. And, maybe I can do more of that and build a mending wall out of a Robert Frost poem or something, and then get to do that one. That one would be good. Something there is that does not love a wall. I can't do the whole thing. I haven't practiced. But anyway, I will see you guys later. I am playing World of Warcraft, but I'm not really having that great of a time with it. I don't see myself getting obsessed with it again. But if I find some other game to play, then maybe I'll do a video of that one too. But until then, tomorrow afternoon, we'll be trying out the Deep Dark. We'll take all of our Idols of Resurrection. We'll try to be as prepared as we can be, and we'll see if we can get into that ancient city down there, and that'll be a fun way to see what happens here. Maybe we can die before we get to day 300. But good night, guys. See you.